Gym Makers presents the Beyond Brilliant broadcast, where we empower ladies and leaders to shine in their brilliant zone. Join your hosts, Dr. Nicole Steele and Dr. Dee Parker, as they share their secrets to help you gain clarity, build confidence, and unleash your courage. If you're ready to get connected, gain insight, spark your creativity, be inspired, and embrace your brilliance, grab a pen and a friend, and let's get started. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Beyond Brilliant, where we help you gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to shine in your brilliant zone. I'm Dr. Dee Parker, the Courage Catalyst, and I'm that hand on your back that pushes you out of your comfort zone all the way into your courage zone. I am joined here, now you're going to see a couple of us, but I'm joined here also with my purpose partner, Dr. Nicole Steele.
Yes, and I am the confidence coach. I am that voice in your ear reminding you of who and whose you are. So
Yes.
Dr. D, today, oh my goodness, we are blessed with a special guest. I'm going to let you do the honors.
Yes, thank you for that. Oh my goodness. Now y'all see this beauty sitting here. Oh my goodness. How many of you know that treasures are not meant to be hidden, honey? So we had to pull this brilliant, beautiful vessel into the light. She is amazing. Now, this is one of our sisters from our sister circle, so we are super excited. She has walked a journey with us for so many years, and so we are excited to have her bring her brilliance here. Now, what y'all don't know about this beauty is that she is an authoress, she is a speaker, she is a mother, she is a mentor to many, and she is a motivator. This powerhouse of a woman, honey, has over 40 plus years in the corporate space, the nonprofit space, and the faith-based space. She brings wisdom wherever she goes. And so it was only appropriate that we brought her to this show and gave her to you all so that she can drop some of those gems that we always talk about on this show today. So please welcome our beautiful Miss Jamell Cottrell. Welcome to the show, girl.
Thank you. So glad to have you.
Thank you, Dr. D, and thank you, Dr. Nicole. It is my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I feel so honored and so blessed to be with you two today.
Girl, this is nothing unlike, right, the conversations that we have in your kitchen, in the living room,
late hours.
up until the late hours,
We be
praying,
talking and
carrying
carrying
on.
We be having a Holy Ghost time.
That's exactly right. And so we are bringing it to this show. And let me tell y'all, we're going to really dive in deep because we're going to talk about things that plague women today, the pressures of the workplace, right? And things that impacted us from COVID. All of that. There's so many things that women have gone through. And Jamell is going to bring some of the expertise that we've been talking about and we've had around our table to bring it to you. So grab a pen and a friend and let's get started. Dr. Nicole, you want to jump in with that first question?
Yes. So I know that you have had an opportunity to pour into hundreds of women over your lifetime. There are so many people that look up to you and come to you for wisdom and guidance. And so for this segment on women in the workplace, my question is, what is one of the biggest challenges, in your opinion, that women face in the workplace?
Wow. Well, Dr. Nicole, there are so many challenges, but I think one of the biggest challenges of women in the workplace is being able to balance work and home, work and family, especially if you're a single mom, having to get up, take the kids to school or drop them off and then go to work and then come home and then have to do homework and cook. And even if you're married, trying to even please your spouse, but it's always been a challenge for women to wear multiple hats. And especially if they are in the corporate world where they may be managers or supervisors, and they're expected to do so much for their team. So they have to be all in when they're there at work hours from 9 to 5, and then they have to be all in when they come home. So then when do they have a time to be all in for them?
Exactly.
That's the important thing. Finding that balance, that work-life balance is very important. So I would say that would be one of the biggest challenges, and just being able to make it up that ladder, that corporate ladder. That's a big challenge sometimes because women are seen as, less than, in the workplace. And a lot of women feel insecure in the workplace.
Girl, we're going to talk about it.
Yes. You said a mouthful. So much.
Yes.
So many nuggets just packed in there. And the first thing I want to really talk about is this past year, COVID-19. And what we experienced in 2020 impacted so many women disproportionately.
Exactly.
Women having to walk away from their jobs, being downsized, losing their jobs. Not to speak for the business women, the entrepreneurs that had to close their doors.
This is true.
And so when you think about all of that, and then of course, for mothers, but especially our single mothers.
Yes.
And so when we think about those challenges and what happens when they don't have that balance, how do they show up at the house? That is not a cute picture.
No, it's not.
I've been guilty of time or so.
Yeah. I've been guilty. Listen, I've been a single mom, and I know how it is to have a bad day, and you have to bring it home.
Come on.
Or when you're coming through the door, and the first thing you open the door, Mom, you're like, can I just have some time to myself? Can I put my purse down? Can I take my shoes off? Can I get past the threshold without this problem and that problem? So there's a lot of pressure that goes on with a single mom, and feeling that they have to carry the weight on the shoulder because everything's on them. They have to do it all. They have to take them to the football game, the basketball games, the piano recital, the guitar lessons, whatever the case may be. They're running around here and there, and if they have more than one child, they have to be in multiple places. So it's a great sacrifice to be a single mom.
Oh my goodness, you just took my breath away with everything that you just said because that's so many of our stories, right? And expected to show up still giving everything. Still giving everything, all of that weight, all of the things that we have going on, and still being able to perform at work.
Right. And
That's
even at
so
the times,
important.
this is so true, Dee, because even at the times where you're up late at night, because you want to get the house settled, and you get very little sleep, but yet you're expected to perform the next morning, and you get up and you do it all over again.
Oh, don't
and
we
the
know?
wheels, like a hamster being on the wheel, it just keeps turning and turning and turning, and you get tired. Very tired. It's very stressful. But yet, when you're at work, you have to be on point, and you have to be present.
You're absolutely right. That's brilliant. Brilliant. Well, my friends, there's a lot more show with this beautiful Jamell Cottrell and all of her brilliance, but we are going to be right back. So we encourage you, again, grab that pen and a friend and catch these gems when we come right back.
The time has come to take your brilliance to the next level. Do you have big dreams and desires that have unfortunately been placed on pause? Do you feel exhausted or overwhelmed from trying to figure things out on your own? Do you have potential that is yet to be unlocked and unleashed? We know all too well what it feels like to have to answer yes to these questions. What you need is to be connected to a community of brilliant women like yourself, where you can be supported, encouraged, and challenged to get outside of your comfort zone. Don't let another year pass you by and risk being stuck in the same place, personally or professionally, this time next year. Accept this personal invitation to join our Beyond Brilliant network, where we help women move beyond their brilliance and gain the clarity they need, thrive confidently in their purpose, and live courageously in their power. Are you looking to start that new business, create new strategies, or stretch beyond where you are right now? Well, look no further. Gem Makers LLC is a coaching and consulting company committed to empowering ladies, leaders, and little girls. We're committed to providing insight and innovative resources that exceed today's normal standards. and to help you gain the clarity, confidence, and courage you need to shine in your brilliant zone. Through our creative content, coaching, conferences, and brilliant community, we'll help you develop the necessary skills to not only achieve your goals, but to sustain them. If you're ready to go after your big dreams, accomplish your big goals, and soar to the next level, contact the Gym Makers team today and let us help you get there. Are you feeling paralyzed with panic or overwhelmed with how to switch gears and pivot in your business? In the midst of crisis or change, we're often pushed to think differently, more creatively, and be more courageous in taking smart risks. This can not only put us in an uncomfortable position, but for many, it can cause you to come to a screeching halt. Instead of becoming discouraged and losing business opportunities, ask yourself these questions. How might I reframe my thinking? How might I explore new ways of doing business? How might I create a new, innovative approach to my problem? How might I pivot like a pro? Gym Makers invites you to schedule your 1-hour consultation today and let us help you put a pivot plan in place to take your business to the next level.
Welcome back. Now, before the break, we were talking to this amazing, beautiful, brilliant woman here, Jamell Cottrell, about women in the workplace and the issues and challenges that they face. We talked about some of the biggest challenges, being a single mother or mother in the workplace, and the pressures and all the things that COVID-19 also, how that impacted women. Now, we empower ladies and leaders, right? Yes. And we always talk about that. And one of the things that we know that we talk about is how do we help leaders be their most brilliant self? Mm-hmm. Now, we know all leaders are not created equal. It's just not, right? That's it's just not the case. But what we also need to understand, in addition to the issues that we talked about, is that women in the workplace face some of that backlash from toxic leaders, right? Microaggressions, unconscious bias, all those things. What advice would you give, Jamell, and because we talk about this all the time.
Yes, we do.
To women that are facing and having to deal with toxic leadership or even toxic team members?
Well, I believe that it's not God's will for us to be stressed. You know, there is a saying that says we're too blessed to be stressed.
Oh, yes.
And when we go into work and you're in an unhealthy environment, you find yourself where you have a boss that's very demanding, expecting too much of you, or they're screaming and yelling with you. Being in a toxic working environment is the same as being in an abusive marriage. You have to look at it that way because you're putting yourself in that situation every single day. Yeah. So it's important that you be courageous and say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. Yeah. I take the courage to quit. Ooh. I say if it doesn't fit, then you must quit.
How'd y'all pick up that tune?
I mean, it's not worth it. And have the strength to know that I don't have to be in this type of environment. Right. You know? Right. And have the clarity as what you really want. Right. When you go out there and you start looking, what type of work environment is feasible for me? Right. It may be working at home. It may be a totally different career. So you have to have the courage to quit, the clarity to know what it is that you want to do, and the confidence to go out there and get it.
Drop the mic.
I could run around the chair.
Just leave it there. You know, and to that, I think about how many women, and again, back to single mothers in particular, may endure more than they should. Yes.
Absolutely.
Because the pressures are on their shoulders. Right. So they will take things that the average person wouldn't, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is God did not create us to be in spaces to be abused, not only in relationships, but even in the workplace. Yes. That's not his plan. That's not, and so having that courage, being clear about not only being clear about your value in the workplace.
Yes.
Knowing your worth.
That's it. That's
it.
Worth
Yes,
more
and more, yes.
And then having that courage to make some moves if you have to.
If you have
exactly.
Yeah? Yes.
You're not obligated. You're not stuck.
No, oh,
You're not obligated and you're not stuck.
I
So
like
many
that.
women feel that they're stuck in a rut,
Yeah.
and that's not true.
yeah.
Every hole can be dug out of.
Okay,
You
know
just have
what?
to see the light.
I need my pen and a friend because I need to pick up that gem. My God, that was good.
That was good.
Yes,
That
you
was
are
very
so
good.
right. You are so right.
That was good.
Yeah.
Well, I want to lead into this question. Have you ever, it kind of builds on that, have you ever worked in an environment where it was a primarily male-dominated company or environment and encountered things that you didn't feel were healthy? Or maybe it wasn't you personally. Maybe you had a chance to observe men
Yes.
behaving badly.
I've had that opportunity to observe, and it's not nice. You know, men will treat you as if, you know, you don't matter. You know, they'll look at women as a sex object, which they're not. And it becomes very competitive. And what women have to remember is that they don't have to compete. They don't have to prove themselves, and they don't have to sell themselves out.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Know
so
your value,
important.
know your worth, and
Yeah.
don't let anybody intimidate you.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right about that because I think it becomes intimidating, right, when you are the only female
Right,
in an
right.
environment that is, you know, predominantly male, trying to carve out your niche.
Exactly.
And that, to me, also leads into not feeling like you're worth
Exactly.
being there,
That's so
right?
true.
Yeah, I love that you said that and not being stuck in that situation. It's such a valuable conversation.
And let me just say this, there are a lot of wonderful men out there. I just
Yes,
want
it
to-
is.
Just
Oh,
want to say that for all of the
absolutely.
men that are listening. This is not a message about all
Absolutely.
men.
This is not-
However, there are environments where women have to find their voice.
You're
And they have to
absolutely
fight.
right.
They
Yes.
have to fight, and you shouldn't have to fight because they have
Yes.
to fight to be seen, to be heard, to be recognized, to
Yep.
be honored, and to be treated equally.
I love that.
You know, it's important that everyone is treated equally.
Ladies, this is an amazing conversation. My God, I hope again that you got your pen and your friend. And honey, listen, if you are a woman in the workplace and you are struggling, we want to hear from you. Go ahead and comment, write the show, and we will be right back with some more with Jamell Cottrell.
Are you stuck, frustrated, in need of a fresh perspective? Don't want to go another year just thinking about that brilliant idea? Well, have no fear. Your struggle stops here. What you need is a brilliant brainstorm to help you begin flowing in your brilliant zone again. If you're ready, we're waiting. Schedule a brilliant brainstorm with members of our Gem Makers team to help you get unstuck today. Are you looking to start that new business, create new strategies, or stretch beyond where you are right now? Well, look no further. Gem Makers LLC is a coaching and consulting company committed to empowering ladies, leaders, and little girls. We're committed to providing insight and innovative resources that exceed today's normal standards and to help you gain the clarity, confidence, and courage you need to shine in your brilliant zone. Through our creative content, coaching, conferences, and brilliant community, we'll help you develop the necessary skills to not only achieve your goals, but to sustain them. If you're ready to go after your big dreams, accomplish your big goals, and soar to the next level, contact the Gem Makers team today and let us help you get there.
Welcome back. Now, I hope that you have been catching all these gems, honey, that all of us have been dropping, but especially this beautiful vessel up here, Jamell Cottrell. Now, we left our conversation before the break, but talking about so many things, challenges in the workplace, really thinking about, you know, being in a male-dominant environment. How do you find your voice and use it? Now we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. Okay. You alluded to it earlier, Jamell, about balance and boundaries.
Yes.
And I would love for you to tell our viewing audience, how do we as women create those boundaries and protect our balance and all of those things? What advice would you give us?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Dee, because I find myself so often telling women in the workplace, hey, did you take a break today? And the answer is no. Oh, I worked past my lunch. Oh, I had to work late. or I had to get up and come into work early. It's nothing wrong with being dedicated, but you first have to be dedicated to yourself. Now, there are a lot of supervisors out there that if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Yes.
And so at some point, you have to set those boundaries for yourself. And I tell these young ladies all the time, don't work after hours. A lot of people on salary, so that's not any extra money. And don't work before. You're on a time clock. They're only paying you for a certain amount of time. Let's say your work schedule is from 8 to 6 or 8 to 5. Everybody gets an hour lunch in that time. Did you realize that that hour lunch is not paid for? That's why you have to work that extra hour, right? So when you sit there at your desk and you eat and you don't take that break, you're working for free. You are absolutely working for free.
That's
So
cute.
unless you want to volunteer, why give them a free time? And they're not going to say nothing to you. They're going to let you sit right there because it ain't costing them nothing.
You're right.
It's bad enough you don't get up and take your 2 15-minute breaks. And everyone needs to get up, walk away from the computer, stretch, go outside, breathe in some fresh air. And if you have a supervisor that calls you early in the morning or texts you, you have to set some boundaries.
Ooh.
First of all, your phone, unless it's a company phone, is your private phone. It's your personal phone. And you just have to politely say, hey, my time is my time. I don't work after hours or before hours, but I'll be glad to assist you during work hours.
Ooh,
I've had supervisors that have called me on the weekends. Oh, let me tell you a story. We get so caught up in it because we're so used to being driven that when I first moved to Georgia, I was working for a fantastic supervisor, but he knew that he could call me 24/7. And I remember I was here in Georgia and I was unpacking my boxes. And I was working for a project for him before I left. So here I am on the phone, talking to him, unpacking my bags, just giving him help, working through things. And my daughter tapped me on my shoulder. She says, Mom, you know you don't work for him anymore, right?
Oh.
Yeah. I had left the job, but I was still working the job. And I wasn't getting paid. But he knew that he could call me. And he knew that I would respond to whatever he needed. So there comes a time when you have to set those boundaries. And the only way you can do this is by letting them know. And let your yes be yes and your no be no. That's the key right there. Because they'll still push you. They'll still try to call you. So just don't respond. Don't answer. If it's not within those times, you have to kind of let them know.
Girl.
Because if you don't, they'll take full advantage of you. So love yourself. Respect yourself enough to demand some things. Your time is your time, and make that time for yourself.
Brilliant.
We as women, we really need that time.
Thank you so much.
So be clear
for
on that. Please be clear.
Thank you for that, girl.
Yes,
That
so
hit me in all of my shananas and spirits, all of that, all of it. Thank you.
I love it. Well, as we get ready to close, if there are viewers that are tuned in today who are struggling with clarity, confidence, or courage when it comes to their work or their workplace environment, what final gem can you leave with them today?
Well, I just wanted to share a scripture, if I may. I just want women to know that they are loved, and we go through a lot. And it's important that we work, especially as mothers or single moms or wives. But whatever we do, we have to put God first.
Yes, ma'am.
And Colossians 3:23 says, whatever you do when you work, work with all your heart, and do it as unto the Lord. And when you do, know that He will receive it, and you will receive an inheritance for it, because your Father will reward you for it. Remember, it is the Lord Jesus Christ that you are working for, not for man.
Oh, my goodness. Girl, we knew we had you on the show for a reason. My
yes,
God,
yes.
this was a wonderful show.
Thank you for having me.
Look at
Oh,
that.
my
It's
goodness.
been my pleasure.
We
It's
are
so
so
good getting with
excited.
you ladies.
Well, honey, don't go nowhere because we're going to bring you back, too. So we thank you so much for this time. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. It has been an amazing show. Dr. Nicole?
Yes. I'm just amazed at how God works. You know, we normally close our show off with our brilliant blessing. And here God brought it through
That's
very
exactly
own
right.
Jamell Cottrell. And so, as Dr. D said, if there are people who are listening, who are struggling, who are inspired even by this show, write us.
Yes.
Let us know how our fabulous sister here, Jamell Cottrell, has been a blessing to you. And remember the things that she said. God is with you. He is.
Amen.
He is with you.
Well, we're going to close our show with, as always, as we close our show,
Yes.
we'd like to let you remember, be bold
Be brave.
and
be
be
brilliant.
brilliant. Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
For more information, show ideas, or to be a guest on our show, please visit www.beyondbrilliantbroadcast.com.
Diamond in the Rough has been for me
a sense of family.
All the mentors are always there for you. You're surrounded by a group of girls who
Love you, care for you, try to help you.
you feel that you're welcome to ask any questions.
They implement growth, empowerment, love.
We bring families together.
It's life-changing.
That you have a sister anywhere you go.
We look out for each other. We lift each other up.
because of the sisterhood and what they teach you there, you know that you have to place it in your life forever.
The vision and the mission of this organization is huge, transforming the world, one child, one family, and one community at a time.
To support and empower the next generation of brilliant minds, visit www.ditr.org.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Dion Parker, the Courage Catalyst.
And I'm Dr. Nicole Steele, the Confidence Coach. And we invite you to join us weekly for Beyond Brilliant,
A show where you will gain the clarity, confidence, and courage to shine in your brilliant zone.
So tune in and tell a friend. We can't wait to see you.